What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, getting into the GOAT, LL Cool J, 14 Shots to the Dome. All right, Amir, so we're back here on The Great Debaters. Everybody, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to y'all as often as possible with as many interviews, episodes of The Great Debaters, and commentaries like we do on the 1st and 15th as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, talk about it, be about it, share it, do everything you can to help us get the word out. And if you're so inclined, you can help us out even more by hitting that join button. It's right down there. We got 3 different layers and levels of ways you can support us that way. Now, Amir, we're talking about the greatest of all time, LL Cool J, and this is his 5th album, 1993, and his career's robust. He's coming off Mama Said Knock You Out, killing the game, destroying competition and everything, and he really showed that he was able to take this long layoff and come back with an album that it wasn't one of his more acclaimed albums, and I remember people not liking it at the time, but at least a lot of my friends and me really liked it in Maryland because we played this album quite often back in the day. So that being said, what was your first experience getting used to and getting acquainted with 14 Shots to the Dome?
Well, I heard the first track, How I'm Coming, right here, single on vinyl. And actually, this is one of my picks, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it.
Okay.
And I think that I was a little definitely caught off guard a little bit when I first heard this because, like, the production, obviously, Marley Marl did a lot of Mama Said Knock You Out, the album before this one, and Marley Marl also did a lot of 14 Shots at the Dome. So when I heard this, I was like, is this a different producer? No, it was, Marley Marl on here too. So that was interesting. Then I heard LL's flow. And you know what I've noticed when I heard this, I was like, well, not only is it one of my picks today, but it was one of my favorite songs on the album at the time. And then I was like, does LL usually start his albums like hard, like pretty hard? And I was like, some of his best songs are the first tracks of his albums, like I Can't Live Without My Radio on his debut, and you have I'm Bad on Bigger and Deafer. I mean, those are just 2 excellent songs. And then we get his Walking with the Panther, we get his Mama Said Knock You Out stuff. So I'm just like, dude, some of his best songs are track 1, and it reminds me of stuff that me and Soren talk about, like how some artists, they just know how to just reel you in with either the opening lines of their songs or their opening tracks, their albums. So LL clearly a master at this point, being his 5th album. So How I'm Coming, like I said, the sonics were great. I think LL Cool J did excellent on that. I thought he was, he sounded a little more aggressive, and it kind of does fall in, after Mama Said Knock You Out, you had some aggressive tracks on there, just like, he had previous, but especially a little more magnified. So I like that. And then I also like the sample, especially me being a huge Ice Cube fan with Death Certificate, where he samples I'm Coming, and then I also hear that in Ice Cube's Death Certificate. So I like that because that reminded me of Death Certificate. So my GOAT and Soren's GOAT right there together. So that's awesome. And then this track, to be a single, to be the track 1 on the album, I thought was also interesting just to see what LL's done in his past. So this has to be one of them. Also really like the cover. And then also, I don't remember when LL started to switch towards the hats like this, just like, your curved fitteds. But that was definitely different as well, because like I said, I don't remember when he started, but I started to notice it more on this album. So it's my first pick.
How I'm Coming is not one of my picks, although I like it a lot. 14 Shots to the Dome, out of the 14, I'd say of the best songs / my favorite, there's 7 or 8 that I would have to choose from. This would definitely be, How I'm Coming would definitely be among them, but it's not one of my top picks. I do really like, when you look at the track listing, man, Marley Marl did a lot on this album, and that's a testament to their working relationship and the great music they made. But I'm going to start it off with All We Got Left Is the Beat. That one I liked a lot because the political nature of it, this is something, we talked about on our recent episode with the Ghetto Boys of Scarface being able to get so political, even though that's something he does throughout his career, and it's something that I think is one of his best lanes. I think he doesn't get a lot of shine. I think it's the same with LL. Illegal Search, Fast Peg, some of these songs that to me are political and are really good, I just don't think he gets a lot of attention for them. So all we got left is the beat. He's talking about societal stuff in the black community, all these different things. And Bobcat produced this one, unlike Marley Marl. Bobcat did a lot of work on this album as well and helped on Mama Said Knock You Out album. But the reality is Bobcat, as Amir and I have talked about, especially we did Tupac Strictly for My Brothers recently. You can check the link to that up there. And that just, highlights Bobcat was really killing the game around this time, working with King T, with Tupac, with LL, just obviously Ice Cube stuff. So, he was just doing all kinds of amazing material. And I think this is another example of that. And I think 14 Shots to the Dome coming off Mama Said Knock You Out just showed me, as I believe or imagine what Amir's going to be picking, what I'm going to be picking. The thing about LL that I've always enjoyed is his ability and willingness to try different styles, different flows, different types of things. And what he does on 14 Shots to the Dome, to me, showed LL is very confident and very cocky and arrogant and all these things, which is great, especially when you're doing a lot of braggadocio stuff. But all we got left is a beat. And then with my other pitch, it just shows this diversity that LL, I think, excels in so many different ways and expands rap in so many different ways and so many different styles, that this style that he has, I think, is just so different from what's on the rest of the album, which we're about to get to. So that's my second pick. Did you want to add? My first pick. Before we get to your second pick, Amir, did you want to add anything about all we got left as a beat?
Not going to add anything to that one, but I will say that I think all my picks are produced by Marley Marl. So you picked the Bobcat track, so
there you
Bobcat,
go.
one of the greats that people don't talk about. Let's get quick into my next pick. We got Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag, Getting Crushed by Buildings. The vinyl behind me, the cassette right here in my hand, still sealed, and man, what a song. And I already know people who were listening to this in 93 were very confused, as a lot of them were.
I know I was.
Because
what is he talking about?
First of all, you get the crazy long title, number one. That's crazy long, mysterious title. Then you get the music video, which has an awesome beat, a very different feel than what we get on the actual album version. Both incredible versions. It's a shame that you need the single to experience, or the music video to experience that version that we get. That was, worldwide or on Rhapsody or whatever you see your music videos back then. So that's a shame. However, the album version, excellent beat as well. And I just love LL, how he starts off the song with the 30 MCs. LL Cool J, he's, like Soren said, he believes he's the GOAT, and there's a great reason for that, because he is scary in a battle, and he's just one of the dopest artists, and he stayed dope for over 30 years, actually coming close to 40 now.
Yeah, 40.
Oh my god. So pretty much being called 40 years at this point, pretty much. So LL, amazing. Then we get to the subject matter of the song. LL's also talking about multiple rappers in the song, Chubby and Ready to Rockin', Naughty by Nature, and stuff like that. The license plate said NWA and all these things. So he's getting his point across. He's talking about rap artists. He's talking about also songs as well. So LL Cool J, very craftily. I'm like losing my brain here. Anyway, he's just really putting it down on this. And then you get the chorus where he's actually saying pink cookies in a plastic bag, getting crushed by a building. And it's like, I feel like if I was in a neighboring car and I heard that, I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, if I didn't know who LL was, I'm like, what the hell is this person? What is this person listening to next to me? It's just so peculiar and interesting. And man, what a great song. And then the cover, he's actually like holding a pink cookie. It's just like funny. And he's got another fitted cap. So Excellent song. If you guys haven't heard, if you guys just listened to like the album version, go ahead and re-listen to the music video version so you can be like, damn, he rapped over this. And this sample, Mobb Deep also rapped over this same sample on The Infamous.
Yeah.
So you'll be like, damn, LL did this too? And yeah, LL also did it before. And it was excellent. And the album version and the music video version are both extremely dope, even though, if I recall, they have the same exact lyrics. So, man, amazing. Soren, what's your second pick on this album?
So yeah, for my second pick on 14 Shots to the Dome, I'm also going with Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag and Crushed by Buildings. And this is what I'm getting into with LL and his various styles. So first of all, a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm like Ice-T, I got the power, or I'm like Ice-T, rhyme pays, or I'm like DJ Quick, I'm born and raised in Compton. But the way LL broke down and incorporated other people's names and lyrics and references into Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag and Crushed by Buildings is very distinctive because it's different. He like broke it down, the license plate NWA, like Amir said, like that's not the normal way you would think NWA would be referenced in the song. So Naughty by Nature, same way, like Amir is saying. That's one thing. Then you have the arrogance and the ridiculousness of him flushing a toilet in the song. Like, what are we doing here? But it results in a song that's amazing. And then Marley Marl's just showing, like, bringing all these tricks out the bag between him and LL. I'm sure, collaborating on this. It's just so distinctive and so unusual. And then, as we saw with I'm That Type of Guy, he's got the laid back, kind of strange flow. Not everything is rhyming. Like going back to Cali, it's just like, it's so innovative, distinctive, and different. And that's why, to me, LL is the best, because he can do every single type of song. He can do so many different type of styles of rap. He can rhyme, he can not rhyme. He could rap slow, he could rap fast, he could whisper, he could do anything. And the other great rappers, as great as they are, I think most of them don't have that agility and nimbleness to where they can just do whatever they want to do and make a amazing song. They can try it. Like, a lot of people rap fast, but they don't rap off beat, or you can't understand what they're saying, or whatever. But LL has proven over time he's just a chameleon and can do all these different things. And Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag and Crushed by Buildings is another example of that, because it's a whole sentence, and who would have ever thought it? It's so distinctive, innovative, and brilliant, in my opinion, when you look at it, and it's just remarkable. So that's my second pick, 14 Shots to the Dome. I think Marley Marl just shows yet again that he's also very adaptable to what he had been doing from the mid-'80s, launching, getting with the Juice Crew and making all the stuff that he did. And then in this era too, we get his sound, and a lot of 14 Shots to the Dome kind of overlaps with what he was doing with Lords of the Underground, and that sound and flair with some of the horns and the type of drum sounds and styles and patterns that he used on both Lords of the Underground and 14 Shots to the Dome. Here come the Lords. So, Amir, that's my second pick. What's your third pick on 14 Shots to the Dome?
So third pick is going to be a track that I don't know if many people would have it as one of their top three, but I definitely do, and that would be Funkadelic Relic. And I really, really, really enjoy this song. I think it's quite unique, and I think it, kind of like what Soren was just saying, how Marley was pulling tricks out of the bag, I think he especially pulls tricks out of the bag on this track, as well as LL. I think that in this song, you can tell the producer-rapper relationship, because you know that they are in the studio together, and LL was writing rhymes a certain way, and then Marley was like, oh, I'm going to add this to it, I'm going to add that to it, oh, you said this, I'm going to add... And you know they're probably bouncing ideas off each other, or saying, like, if I do this, what would you do? Like, I'm really getting that vibe when I hear this song, because in Funkadelic Relic, LL is talking about, like, some of his history as an MC and coming up in the game, and he mentions back as far as, like, I can't live without my radio, I need a beat. He mentions Yvette. Like, he's saying all this is 85, so at this point it's kind of like ancient history for LL, because this is 93 when this song came out.
Right.
So it's like, and to say ancient history is insane, because this is 93. The guy's already had a lifetime in music. He's been in for over 8 years. This is his 5th album. He's went multi-platinum. Like, he's done all these things, traveled the world. Like, most artists dream to do this, and he did this. And how old was he at the time?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just getting started.
He's a superstar. So you hear him talking on Funkadelic Relic, and then the thing that I really like, and I think it was extremely intentional, he's talking about his history, but then on top of that, you get to the Mama Said Knock You Out section, and then LL is referencing I don't know if it's every song of Mama Said Knock You Out, boom, right here, but it's damn near most of the songs. He also mentions like Illegal Search, and he mentions like Mr. Goodbar, Farmers Boulevard, Around the Way Girl, but then as he's naming the songs, you start to hear some of the instrumentals in the background. So that's what I'm saying, like the collaboration between rapper and producer is very strong on this, because I think it really engages the listener. It's like, damn, what's he gonna bring in next? Is he gonna bring in this beat, that beat? And then on top of that too, LL is sneakily very fast with his raps on this track. You wouldn't notice it, but the way he's flowing and the way he's rapping pretty fast on this song in certain parts shows that he can put his foot on and off the pedal at any time he wants, which kind of furthers Soren's point of how great of an MC LL is. He can go 20 miles per hour, or he can go 80 miles per hour within 20 seconds.
And
so it's amazing.
Why do you think they call it dope on Walking with the Panthers? Another example of that, just for reference.
No, and he does it throughout his career, which is, Walking with the Panther came out in 89. So 4 years apart, he's constantly trying to make the listeners, think like, can LL do this? Can he do that? Was he whack with this flow, or was he dope with this flow? And most, 9 times, if not 10 times out of 10, he is dope with what he's executing. And I think Funkadelic Relic is one of the more underrated songs in his catalog, and definitely one of the tracks that I really like, not only from the rapper perspective, but the production perspective. I think it has a perfect marriage. That's my final track. What's yours?
Funkadelic Relic is not one of mine, but I love this song, man. And it's everything Amir's saying, and I think this is tied into what I was saying with Pink Cookies in the Plastic Bag getting crushed by buildings. Like, you can tell the mastery that's going on with all these different styles, all just on one album. And again, I don't agree with this opinion, but it's not even one of his revered albums, and yet the brilliance and the mastery he's showing on it, unparalleled in my opinion. That being said, my third pick is Backseat. Now, yes, of course, it's a single, but this gets back to my thing of one thing I've always appreciated about LL, and it really kicked into me with I'm That Type of Guy on Walking with the Panther, is that it just seemed like LL felt like he was just separate from everybody. And like Backseat My Jeep, like he's laughing on the song, dude. Like he laughs. And right there, it was just so hilarious and arrogant to me that he would do that. But I think it was just because I can just laugh on one of my songs, and it just sounds good, and it's the natural flow of what it is. And this is talking about women again, of course, but he's doing it again in a different type of way, with a different type of beat and different feel and all these different things. QD3. So it's like he's bringing in different producers, different sounds, different mentalities, different backgrounds. Marley Marl, New York, QD3's all over the place, and then Bobcat from LA. It's just like he's bringing all these different worlds, all these different backgrounds, all these different styles and sensibilities into the mix. And I think that's pushing his art forward. It's pushing his mind forward. It's pushing his creativity to different dimensions. And that's why I think, in my opinion, that's why I think it's hard for the average casual fan to gravitate to some artist's music sometimes, because they want to hear, Mama Said Knock You Out Part 2, or they want to hear whatever your favorite song is by your favorite rapper. You want to hear them make that type of song over and over and over again. But LL, to me, is the quintessential artist like Outkast, as far as groups, sonically, stylistically, everything changes all the time. Like, none of Outkast's albums sound similar, and LL similarly, and started before them, was changing his producers all the time, changing his style all the time, changing the type of beats, changing the speed of the beats. So, you know, he just did this all throughout 14 Shots to the Dome, and to me, I do remember, you know, my boys and I listening to this album a lot and just thinking it was amazing and wondering, like, man, more people aren't getting into it. Didn't seem like in the magazines that we were reading and even on, you know, the video shows and stuff, that other than Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag and Crushed by Buildings and Backseat, it didn't seem the album had this certain reverence that clearly Amir and I have for 14 Shots to the Dome. But that's their loss, our game. So there you have it. So Amir, what do you want to add about Backseat?
That was another close one for me. Catchy, really good song. Boom, man. I mean, it's really good. I don't remember. No, I was thinking of something else, but really good. I mean, the album, it definitely did sound a bit different from some of the stuff in his catalog up to this point, but definitely enjoy it. And I'm very intrigued to see what the people think. So let us know in the comments what you think, or what you pick as your favorites. I want to see how many people pick Funkadelic Relic. I'm assuming we'll get a lot of Pink Cookies in there, but I'm very intrigued. I don't know. So drop them down there.
Yes, please hit us in that comment section. Subscribe to Unique Access Entertainment so we can keep growing. Join us to help support us as a member. And always, thank you so much for everything you do, for watching, and for helping us get to the next level of the game. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And man, thank you LL and the crew for making this 14 Shots to the Dome, man.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence, thanks to gangster rap.
Straight out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Hip-hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap, written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. In stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.